Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Rad Dudes. We are back again for a special little February edition of the Rad Dudes, where tonight we're going to take on 90s thrillers, erotic thrillers. I don't know, Cody. What do you say? What do you call it?
Man, so I feel like if you call it erotic thrillers, it's kind of like looked down on. So I think like more of the sleazy ones were considered the exotic. It started off exotic, and then I guess in the 90s, now we just call them like 90s thrillers, and that gets people hyped. But I think to have like the erotic, because that's when I went in with with the stuff I pulled. I kind of pulled stuff that like they're going to be more like 90s thrillers, but they kind of have like a sexual charge to it, like there's some kind of like, say, Fear, there's that sexual tension in Fear, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely two, and I can even showcase a couple different ones like that as well, because even when you look up the word thriller and you look up movies, like there's so many subgenres within that genre, like psychological thriller, suspense thriller, action thriller. Like there's so many that fit in that category. So when we were talking about the show, we're kind of like, how do we really narrow this down? And because we knew what we wanted to talk about, but we weren't sure exactly how to categorize them. But what really kicked off this idea, and not only are we both big fans of this kind of movie anyways, like, you showcase like for instance, Your Hand That Rocks the Cradle, like you showcase that stuff all the time, and we talk about these things. But really what kicked off the big idea was a documentary that just came out recently that's so freaking good. Did you have a chance to watch it yet?
I watched it last night. Yes.
Isn't it pretty cool? I mean, it really digs pretty deep into this subgenre. I guess you would say this is more of the erotic thriller, right? Like,
yeah, like this
We Kill for Love. Like, it's so cool. Yellow Veil Pictures did it, and it just goes through like all these thrillers from the 90s, like you said, that have to do with like, revenge and sex and all this other stuff. And there's things in these movies that are kind of, you see them often within these kind of movies, like things are called fatal this, or, like there's always like these different words that they use in these movies. And it's just a real cool documentary that I can't recommend enough.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it. So I was watching you, I think you unboxed it on one of your lives, and I was like, never heard of it. So I bought it during the, the Kino sale, or not the Kino sale, the Vinegar Syndrome sale. Yeah. And I got it like 2 days ago. Dude, I don't know what, because this has been out for a while. It took forever to get my package from Vinegar Syndrome. So
it was really well done too. And I'm surprised, like I was shocked by all the different like movies they were able to find, and they show the person like mix and match in the VHS tapes and stuff. And it's like, man, some of those movies, and I've even searched it out since I've gotten this, are like still just sitting on VHS.
On VHS, I haven't seen anything past VHS. It's cool too. Like a lot of those kind of erotic thrillers had like the same actors, and there's like even a part in the documentary where they're showing like the same actor in each thing. I thought it was really cool.
But before we jump into kind of talking about these movies, showing some of our favorites, showing our, history with these, our memories with these, and, getting into some maybe like ones that people aren't totally familiar with. And then, hopefully the chat will give us some ones that they like that maybe we didn't talk about, because I've got a notepad here. I want to take notes, but there's so much to dig into here that we're going to miss a ton of stuff. There's so many that could fit in this genre that, like we said when we jumped on, like I ran in my movie library and just started grabbing things. And I mean, my movie library is thousands and thousands of movies. So I'm almost positive I missed tons, but I just grabbed what I saw and I made piles, and I said, all right, we can showcase this. Are all these 90s? Most of them are, but I might have some 80s ones trickled in or whatever. But let's see who is in the house now. Adrian James, what is going on, man? Thank you for popping in. Foch, man.
Fachi.
Oh, what's up, dude? Gus, what's up, my man? How are you? Jesse, what's up, dude? Hall and Oat, going on, my man? Starship of Greatness, welcome to the show. What is up? Rad Dudes all day, all night. I love wearing the Rad Dude shirt. Yes, you guys can get a Rad Dude shirt over at shop.borntobyrad.com. You can get the Rad Dude shirt, and I'm sure we'll be working on other designs, because that shirt was like one of the hottest sellers like in the whole store. So I'm sure we've got to work on different designs, because obviously people really dug that thing. So thank you to everybody who purchased one. I couldn't be happier. I know Cody loves it. So
Yeah,
you guys have a shirt and you want to post a picture online or on Instagram wearing it, we will share it around. So
absolutely. Thank you guys.
movie buffing with Justin. Happy Friday, everyone. So many 90s thrills. This is going to be good.
Is this Justin's new channel?
I mean, who knows? I mean, I can't keep up anymore. Nathan, what's up? What's up, man? What's in a name? Perfect count. Oh,
Yeah.
I had to do it. I had to get ready. Skinamax, we can talk about that as well. We're both 90s kids and whatever, so we can talk about that for sure. Oh, Vanderhoff, the best ever is Unlawful Entry. That's interesting because we just got the damn thing on Blu-ray, which is another whole story in itself.
I do have it, but I'm not going to talk about it. So that's why I said, like, you know, like movies like Unlawful Entry and like Breakdown. Breakdown's one of my favorite movies. That won't be. I'm not going to talk about those in this just because it's not like
it's hard. Like,
you know, like there's so many. So I kind of
right. It's hard. Like, I mean, we can brush through a lot of these because I'm sure a lot that I grab too are not necessarily going to be right in the same exact concept as things like Basic Instinct, but we can definitely just touch upon them. We have some time. Wilkie, what's up, man? Horror Collector, what's up? Hey, I appreciate that. Come back now. Tiana loves movies. What's up, Tiana? Ryan, yeah, man. You know what? I agree. I usually get my Vinegar Syndrome very quickly because I'm only literally 2 hours from where they ship it. So I usually get it really fast. I just got it yesterday and I did an unboxing last night. And I know Cody just got his not too long ago either, right?
Yeah. And then I did an unboxing last night. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Dynamite Tanga. What's up, man? Sexy time is right.
Yeah, see, and that's like when you call it erotic thrillers, you know, that may some people may not want to, you know, watch like, oh my god, sleazy, but then you call it 90s thrillers, people, oh yeah, cool, let's go watch that, you know.
Look at this. Deadpit, what's up, man? Dude has a hell of a rad boggy on. Yeah, look at that hat he's got there. Killing it, huh?
Yeah.
Shattered. Interesting. Blu-ray Addict, what's
Shattered.
up? Da Vinci, Zombie Madness, what is going on? Wow, everybody, Magic Hands in the house. Basic Instinct is a classic. Tiana with a little super chat action. I love a good thriller movie.
Yeah.
Rad Dudes. Awesome, kid. Tiana, thank you so much for that. Let's get on something here. Let's do it.
They call me Mo because every time they give me something, I always want Mo.
Hey, guys, so when I was watching the documentary, they talked about one of the movies that really kickstarted this whole genre, and that is The Palmer's Dressed to Kill, which is a freaking fantastic movie that came out in 1980. And this is one that they said really kickstarted this whole subgenre of these kind of thrillers, the revenge, the, you know, sexually charged, like Cody was saying. And again, this isn't 90s, but this is one that really wants to be showcased because it is one of the early ones that really kind of kicked this thing off. And I didn't see this one until I was a little bit older, probably 20, maybe, like that movie in general. I started
Here.
into a lot of De Palma like around that time. And but I had seen a lot of the ones that came out in the 90s first. So it's really interesting that was the one that really kind of kicked this whole thing off. And there's a lot of things in this movie that, you know, these other movies kind of copy. And it's really, really interesting. And it's a cool movie. So if anybody obviously doesn't know that one or hasn't seen it, it's one that you want to see because it really kind of kickstarted the whole thing. So same with Body Double. Agree.
Yeah. It definitely has like it's a great blueprint for what is to come, you know.
100%. And Dirk's in here. What's up, man? Erotic thriller is definitely an essential example of an American jail. Oh, 100% it is. Correct. Body Double and Dressed to Kill would be back to back easy for sure. And then, you know, they kind of had some things in the 80s. I grabbed a couple. I didn't want to do a ton of 80s stuff, but like, for instance, this was a cool one I always liked. I don't know if you've ever seen Thief of Hearts.
No.
It's a real cool one as well. This just came out on Blu-ray not too long ago. I think Paramount put it out.
Really?
But it's a real cool movie. I'm sure people in the chat have probably seen this one. But it's definitely a cool one as well, which has got a very similar vibe. Not as, I'm gonna say, like Dress to Kill, but in that same genre of the, cheating on the wife, there's a
Yeah.
mistress, all this other stuff. So
Was
uh,
that Lou Diamond Phillips?
no, but he was
Oh,
in
it looked like him.
no, this is the dude that was in Scarface. What the
Oh,
hell was his
okay.
name?
Okay, yeah.
Uh
Manny. Well, that's the name of Scarface.
Stephen Bauer. Would
Yeah,
that be his name? Yeah.
he was in a couple of them because I have one with him in it, I believe. Stephen Bauer, yeah.
So that was another 80s one. And then the 90s really kicked it off with the big one. And I think this was the big one for me.
Oh, we are missing one big one from the 80s is
What was it?
Fatal Attraction.
So that was 80s? Okay,
That
I
was
have that.
That was like 87.
Hold on, let me look. Oh, was it? Okay, so
Yeah.
that came first.
So I kind of feel like, like Dress to Kill was the Halloween, and then
Sure.
Fatal Attraction was like the Friday 13th that got all these everything just going.
So yeah, Fatal Attraction, classic. I mean, another thing too is my brother and I always joke, like the two people that I always think about when we talk about this genre is Michael Douglas and Richard Gere. Like those two guys I feel like are in all of these movies, and I'm like, did Michael Douglas basically like build his career on like cheating on his wife like for these movies? Like every movie he's got all these chicks and stuff, and I'm like, every movie he's in so many, and like even the ones that aren't necessarily this, like there's those elements in it, like The Game and stuff like that. Like I don't know if you'd consider that this kind of genre, but like I mean there's still elements of this kind of stuff in movies like that. So very, very cool with Fatal Attraction. And going through all these to get ready for it tonight, I'm like, man, I would love to sit down and just start banging these out again, because it's been a while since I've watched a lot of these.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this after the stream. Oh, I'm gonna watch this after the stream. So I have like 10 movies to watch after the stream. which I'll watch one of them. I know.
They're gonna be like, oh, what are you guys gonna be doing after this?
We've been looking through the blinds.
Oh my god. Deadpit asked a question, dude. I have no idea. But people are like putting stuff in the chat right now, and like literally, like that's what's so crazy. Like a lot of the ones people are talking about, I've seen, I own, but I didn't know like that they would have been part of this. So like it's just there's so many of these things. But the one that really caught everybody's attention in the mainstream was Basic Instinct. And what was this? 1992, right? Is it 92? I think.
Yes, because like, dude, 93, everything was a sexual charge thriller.
Because this did so well, and I mean, she was on award shows. She did Saturday Night Live. Like, I mean, she really got out there from this movie. And it's funny because I'm shocked. I don't have either of these on Blu-ray. I think this definitely has a Blu-ray. I don't know if this does. I just have them 4K. On DVD still. Which does?
Fatal Attraction has a 4K.
It does.
It's a Paramount Presents.
Oh, I should definitely look that up, because I didn't. I have a lot of these on DVD still, which it brings me back to the 90s, I guess. But it oh my god, dude, 100%. I would, but I would also buy. I kept looking. There's a one called Bedroom Eyes that they talk about a lot in this documentary. I think there's like multiple ones, but those things look awesome, and they're all stuck on DVD still. And I would love somebody to do a box set on those. But what was your first time with Basic Instinct? Do you remember that, or even?
Yeah, I remember my first time watching Basic Instinct.
It almost felt like when I was a kid and I watched those, it almost felt like I was doing something wrong, because I was young. I mean, I remember my friend down the street like had this and Sliver, and he was like, "Oh, let's come over and we'll all watch this." And all the kids like from the neighborhood like went over there and like felt like we were doing something wrong,
Yeah, I can't remember exactly the first time I watched it, but I think my mom rented it for me. I don't think she knew how how sexual it was. I think she just thought I was watching this, this thriller because I was a big fan of Hand that Rocks the Cradle, obviously. So she was just kind of okay. Well, let's get some other not 90s thrillers. And I remember watching this, and I was like, holy shit,
Yeah, for real. Like, and
Yeah.
speaking of Michael Douglas, speaking of Sharon Stone, like they started doing more movies like this. Like we talked about Fatal Attraction, we talked about Basic Instinct. Now there's a couple that I don't know if I even have. I may, but I could not find them. Like, Sliver with Sharon Stone. That was another one. It was a very similar movie, and I could not find that in my collection. I may not even have it, but I remember as a kid, that was another one that I remember everybody was all like, "Oh, did you see Sliver? Did you see this?" And my parents, for whatever reason, they never went to the movies much, but like I can almost talk about the ones I remember them going to see, and like we would have like a babysitter because it wasn't often that they did that. So Basic Instinct was one, Hand That Rocks the Cradle was another, Misery was another. I think Fatal Attraction was another. Like they used to love to go to the movies and see these kind of things, like these adult movies where we couldn't come with them and stuff. So they obviously made some money because, like I said, my parents didn't do a lot of that stuff unless it was with us. So, I'm assuming that they all did pretty well. The fact that they'd get out and decide to go do that stuff.
Yeah, because I forgot, a couple of years ago, I was watching this documentary and they were talking about how the Hand That Rocks the Cradle made so much money, and that, that started up a whole bunch of different other things, but people don't talk about that movie. They talk about Single White Female that came out right after, which was fast tracked because of Hand That Rocks the Cradle. So they're kind of like, it was like the underdog champion that got this all going, and now people really don't talk about it, which is sad.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that. Hand That Rocks the Cradle. What year was this?
92.
Okay, so this came out, and this was another one that I remember they went to go see.
So this was like this is January 92. So this was early 92.
So this was before Basic Instinct then?
Yes, this was actually January 9th. So it was almost pretty.
And a lot of these movies touch upon a lot of stuff that just movies nowadays wouldn't. And I think that's why this genre is kind of lost, because they wouldn't touch upon some of these subject matters. And even with this one, like it's watching it now, and that beginning scene where she's at the doctor's office and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a hard watch. Like it's a risque like watch, And
it's one of those things where it's like, you make a movie like this now, did you have to put a trigger warning on the beginning, like a warning before the movie starts? Because I know that's how so I think maybe people just don't even bother with it anymore. They're just like, you know what, we don't want, because like it could give something away. It could, because sometimes when you're sitting there and you're watching the ratings, you're like, okay, so that's going to happen and that's going to happen in the movie. So you can kind of put things together by the rating sometimes.
Now this is it, right? This is the DVD is the furthest this thing's gotten in home video format, correct? Or no? Oh no, there is a Blu-ray.
It's a Blu-ray. Yeah, they have a 20th anniversary that came out. That was bare bones. It came out in 2012, but it hasn't gone anywhere near it because obviously, or it's owned by Disney, so so it's stuck there. But yeah, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. This is a movie I watched all the time. Like when I went to the movie store, I would rent this all the time. And I remember the first time watching it, me and my sister cried so hard because the way Solomon was treated, the Ernie Hudson.
Oh yeah.
So like
that was sad, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because like I love The Crow, I love Ghostbusters, but this is my favorite Ernie Hudson performance. And that's another thing. Ernie Hudson would never be able to play that character now.
No. But you know what? I agree with Vanderhoff here too. Like, it's unfortunate because I think everybody is too triggered by things now. I really do. Like, I mean, I don't watch any of these movies and pick it apart to find out what I want to get upset about and post online. Like, I just don't. Like, and it's unfortunate that I feel like we can't look past that and just realize that this is just a movie and a story, because, some of this stuff could be very true to certain people that have, lived it or whatever. And it just sucks that, this kind of genre is pretty much gone to the wayside because nobody wants to touch these kind of topics, but that's why I want to talk about it, because it was important in that day. And especially, starting to grow up in the 90s. Like, I know you and I are a little bit different in age. I'm a little bit older.
Yeah.
But like, I can remember when I became 16 and I had a car, going to the video store on a Friday night or whatever was something I did even with friends or, you know, with girls or by myself or with my brother. Like, it didn't matter. When all of a sudden I got my car and I was like, I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'm going to go to Blockbuster and just rent a bunch of shit. And I remember times I would rent some horror stuff and I'd go down the thriller stuff and like look around and grab like some of these no name things because, you know, at that point in time, there was some that I started to kind of see that I just fell in love with that kind of genre. And we can talk about it now. Like, man, when I saw Fear, I was freaking blown away.
Yeah. Look at my shirt.
Oh, I love it, dude. I freaking love this movie so much. I saw this in the theaters with my parents, brought me to this. Yeah, like, because I was such a big Mark Wahlberg fan. What year would this have been? Like 95, maybe?
It's like 96, I believe. 96, 97, yeah.
So I remember I went with my friend and my parents. We went to this, and man, I absolutely freaking loved it. And then after this came out, I was thinking to myself, I was trying to find like other movies that were like this, and that's what kind of brought me into the world of the thrillers. Or you'd go into the drama section of like the video store, and that's where you'd kind of find all these kind of movies. And man, Fear is still so freaking good.
You know what other movie I have it, but I did not see it when I was looking for stuff. It was, and I can't even remember what it's called. Mother's Boys.
Oh, I have that with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. That was kind of, you know, it was. I feel like it was kind of along the same lines as Fear. I thought, you know, it had the same kind of tones. Like, I really like. It's always like these '90s thrillers. It's always like, I feel like it's like kind of overcast outside. You could tell it just got done raining. It's a Saturday afternoon. Like, that's what that's what it reminds me of. You know?
And you could tell that like the direction of these movies went in two ways. The one way it went where like you had those made for TV movies that would be on Skinamax, the ones that were erotic thrillers, but like they really just like were on the line of like porn, basically, like softcore porn.
Softcore porn, yeah.
And I won't remember, like, would they have been in the regular aisles at the video store, or were those some of the movies you had to go in the back to like? I don't remember where they mixed in. A part of me feels like they mixed in the regular thriller section, and they were just like,
yeah, I feel like that's what they did as well. I can't remember because I was so young back then, or you know, in the '90s, you know. But I feel like they'd be in the thriller section because they're not necessarily porn. And honestly, man, I've never seen a porn section in a movie. I thought that was just on TV. You know, like I thought.
Oh, you're saying in a theater? I mean, in a movie store, a video store?
Yeah. So like, you know, when like people talk about, you know, how they have like the room in the back.
They had that when I was young. Oh yeah.
I never saw it unless I just was not paying attention. You know, and that's very, very.
I think it probably was because it was like, ours was called Major Video for years, and then it changed into a Blockbuster. But I even think that there was still a little room when it was Blockbuster for a while, but it wasn't like a curtain like you would see on like, you know, a mom and pop shop. This was like a little corridor, and like it almost looked like you would have had to go in the back room. Like, so as a kid, I always just walked by the aisleway because I thought that was like, oh, that must be how you get to the back. Yeah. And not really realize that that's where that was, right? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty positive Blockbuster had that back room, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah,
it really, really was.
But you keep seeing your teacher coming out from there.
Like, hey, what are you doing back there? What's back to
that?
Yeah. So I mean, it was a time in the 90s really took this genre. Like I said, it went in two directions. It went into that more softcore realm where those would be like made for TV, made for home video, Skinamax. And then they took the erotic thriller and made it a lot more Hollywood, which things like Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Disclosure, Sliver, Basic Instinct, Fear, and like they even started to get more into that teen, teen like thriller stuff. And those are the ones I really started to gravitate towards back in that mid 90s, because these weren't necessarily adults to me. These were people that might have been like a little bit older than I was at the time.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to see if there's any other ones like that I was big into as a kid. Like, man, and you can agree, Alicia Silverstone was a big one for me. So, you know, you obviously look at that, the back, and I have the movie The Crush there. This movie, The Babysitter, was another one that she was in that I really liked back in the day.
I've never seen that, but I've wanted to see. It's good though.
It's cool. I mean, Crush is better.
Crush is better. Yeah, Crush is
the
go. Yeah,
that's the go for sure.
But do you remember there was a movie, and it's hard to find, but it had Molly Ringwald in it. It was kind of like The Crush.
Ooh, what would have been called?
Though I can't remember. I remember a scene where they pull over their. It's like a. They have like a convertible, and they pull over on the side of the road, and they start having sex, and it's just raining on them. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, dude, they're ruining their car.
Okay, so all right, they're saying it malicious.
Malicious,
I've never seen it. I've never seen that. All right,
it's
so
good.
I have a notepad here. I'm going to start writing some of these down because, again, a lot of these are not available. So I want to search them out and see which ones are. Like, I've never seen that. I'm a big Molly Ringwald fan. So
I think it's like 95 because I remember renting it on VHS. But yeah, it's called Malicious. Yeah, Malicious.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, I recommend it. I haven't seen it in years though.
A couple other ones that were big for me when I was a teenager, dude, and I'm sure I saw these two in the theater too, and I loved them. Wild Things.
Yeah, I didn't grab Wild Things. I wasn't even thinking.
Which is like basically like, again, it's there's teen elements to it. It's still a thriller for sure. There's still a lot of sex in it. But this is such a great movie. It's still a great movie, in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. This is an awesome addition that Arrow put out. I mean, it was so cool to see this thing come on 4K from them. I mean, I jumped all over this when it came out.
I have a signed poster of Wild Things. Nev Campbell signed it, and she was signing it because I had her do a quote. She's like, "What do I say in this movie?" And I was like, I don't remember it. She's like, okay, so she put, "I don't trust you, Cody," or something like that.
That is funny. Now, but she was cool with it, like, because when I gave that Crush poster to Alicia Silverstone to sign, she was kind of weird about it. Like, she's like, "Oh," and then just signed it and didn't really say anything else. And I'm like, and I think she even said something like, "I haven't signed one of these today," or something like that. And I was like, okay.
So that's crazy, man. Yeah, maybe it's because like she was underage. Maybe she's like, "Okay, you pervert," but it's just like you got to understand, like you're younger than her, I believe.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
like, so it's like, like when I go around being like, I had a big crush on Topanga. It's not like I'm going around, I don't have a crush. I don't have a crush on a 60. But I know some people are weird like that,
right? Again, you've got to look into context. It's not like you were 40 watching Topanga when the show aired, right? Like it's very different. It's not the same because when you were watching it when it was out, you guys were technically roughly the similar ages, right? So yeah, it's not weird.
Yeah, man, I had a Topanga shirt too it was about 5 years ago. I wore it a lot, and I kept getting compliments by like 50-year-old men, and I was like, is this weird? So I stopped wearing it. I stopped wearing it. I was like, you know what? It's kind of weird. I'm wearing like this like 16-year-old girl on my shirt. Maybe I shouldn't wear this. Well, but like people our age would understand, but maybe somebody else would be like, "What do you?"
I have a funny story, but people in here don't seem to like Babysitter, which again, it's not a great movie, but being a Alicia Silverstone fan in that time frame, which I'll talk about that as well, between the Aerosmith videos, her having her own movies. I mean, I remember going to the theater and seeing a movie that she was in. I don't remember the name of it, but I remember she got put in a trunk or something like that. But I went to the theater to see it because I was such an Alicia Silverstone mark at the time. So, when Babysitter and The Crush came out and they were kind of like a scandalous Alicia Silverstone, I was like, 14 years old being like, hell yeah, I'm going to check this out.
Well, even me, like being like 5 years old and having like maybe 5 or 6 when that Aerosmith video came out, crazy, I was just like, dang, this girl's hot, like,
yeah. I mean, I think I was probably 12 when I think that came out,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Excess Baggage must have been the name of it. I remember going to the theater and I saw it specifically for her, right? So yeah, and I remember seeing it in the theater. And I see the chat going. I'll try to get back to you guys about it, but
and back to this because like when or if I meet Alicia Silverstone, I would love to have her sign a poster of The Crush. But I think I remember somewhere that she was getting emancipated at the time. So maybe it was just a bad experience. So
Could have been for
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know, but yeah, I always hate that when you get something signed and they're like, "Oh, like
Yeah.
I always tell the story. I got, Justin hates the story, but when I met Barbara Crampton, I had her sign my poster for
Chopping Mall, right?
Chopping Mall, and she was just like, "Oh, you want me to sign this?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You like this movie?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Do you not like it?" She's like, "It's okay, it's funny." I was just like, "Oh, okay." I was like, all right, man. Like, I was like, okay.
I actually don't mind because in my head I'm thinking, okay, so not many people have had this signed, which makes this pretty rare, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I always look at it as a unique item
Yeah.
because, like, when she was like, "Oh, no one else has gave me this poster today," or something, I was kind of like, "Great," because I want to be one of the only ones that has it on there,
Yeah.
And I try to do that when I meet some of these celebrities. Like, I try to go a little bit more obscure on some of the stuff. And it's not always that easy, but to do it, it's kind of fun because it just makes your item a little more unique and not many people how many people had Clueless stuff. That's all everybody had.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, and it makes for conversation too. Like, I met Jeff Goldblum. I can't remember if I told you the story or not, but I met Jeff Goldblum, and it was like cattle. Like he was was talking, he didn't even really look up because that's how fast I had to go. So it wasn't his fault. So it was going fast. I had a mini poster of Death Wish. And he like stopped, looked at me, and he's like, "Oh," and he's like, me and him had like a minute conversation. Yeah, it was just a minute, but it was a lot longer than anybody else got.
Right. Well, it's funny because I met Jeff Goldblum too.
Oh yeah,
and it was kind of the similar situation. I ended up getting a Fly poster signed from him. And what's crazy is there's a convention coming to me in a couple weeks, which I want to talk to you about because if you need anything like the step-by-step stuff, like tell me if you it's a slippery slope because you're like, do I just get one? But I mean, if there's anything you need, like let me know. But
yeah,
like Gina Davis is going to be there, and I'm like, I gotta get her. I mean, she's going to be expensive, but I'm like, I'll just get her probably, and is one of the person I want to get because I want her on that Fly poster as well. Like, I just think that'd be such a great piece to have both of them on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's a huge piece to have in the collection. So I'm like, I'm all about it. So yeah, I met Jeff Goldblum as well, and it was a very fast paced thing. And going back to giving celebrities something different, when I met Peter Weller, I did something with Firstborn. I mean, he started to talk to me and while everybody was in line because he was so used to just RoboCop all the time. So he stopped me and he's like, "Oh wow, you like that?" And so it's sometimes it works out for the better when you meet these people. It almost, like you said, it's an icebreaker to conversation that they don't usually have.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, Hideaway. I have that one. I forgot about that. Jeff Goldblum and Silverstone.
Really?
Wow.
Man, it sounds like Alicia Silverstone were all in these three of those. I only know these two, that and Babysitter, or Babysitter and The Crush.
Okay, well, speaking of that, what can I look for? I just had it. Where the heck did I do it? Oh, speaking of childhood in the 90s, speaking of actresses that were doing a lot of erotic thrillers at the time, man, my favorite was Melissa Milano was like my favorite one back then. And some of the movies like Embrace the Vampire was a big one in the mid 90s. I don't know if you've ever seen this one. And then the Poison Ivy collection was a staple. Yeah. In that mid 90s era for you had Drew Barrymore in here, Jamie Priestley, you had Alyssa Milano again. That was like that and the Drew Barrymore were my favorite too.
And then if you guys watch my channel, you guys know how much I like Little Giants, but there's Icebox right here.
Oh, I've never watched the fourth one.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, these were great. I think the first time I either rented this or maybe it was on TV or something. But when they announced this box set, I'm like, oh hell yeah! And
the first one's classic for sure, man.
Oh my god, that's the best one as far as story for sure. No question, it's definitely the best.
And it's crazy because like Drew Barrymore is underage in this movie in real life as well. And it's like if you watch the like extended version,
she was she was like banging the dude and stuff.
Yeah,
like at least it looked like it.
Yeah, and like they don't show her naked, but they almost do. It's like, man, like that's it was really pushed far, man.
I agree. I didn't realize how old she was in the movie. Like I assumed she had to have been probably at least 18, but
yeah.
I mean, there was some pretty big scenes with that guy in that movie. And
Yeah.
I see Slasher Home Video in the chat. What's up, man? Yeah, that was my go-to. I was a big Poison Ivy 2 fan because I'm a huge Alyssa Milano guy, and she's going to be at the convention with Gina Davis. And a part of me is like, I need to do something with Milano. I don't care if it's a photo op. I don't care. I would love to get something signed, but what do I get signed? And a part of me was like, do I get one of these 3 signed? Do I do that? But I'm like, Fear would be my favorite one, but my only issue is that she's not on the poster per se. So it's like, is that weird?
No,
to get her on this, even though she's not physically on the artwork.
Do you have the poster?
I don't, but I mean, I'm gonna try to get it if I know that that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, man, that's what I would get. I would get the Fear poster signed. But that's just me.
Yeah, and I know Fight the Good Fight. She's a little bit weird now.
Is she?
Yeah, like she's very, she's fighting back and forth with the rest of the Charmed cast. They can't even do conventions together. It's like so much drama. She's really heavy into politics all the time. So she is a little bit, out there. But
yeah,
again, I don't judge people, man. I try to keep it in the bubble of what I remember them by and just go from there. Like if I sit there and try to dissect everybody,
oh my god,
it's no fun for me. But that's a good one too, Slasher. Body Count. I actually think I have that right over here because I was about to watch it the other day.
Body Count. That sounds familiar.
Dude, you're gonna love it. Look at this artwork. It's a Milano, and this is kind of a thriller for sure.
Is Ice-T in it? Yes,
baby.
Okay. Yeah, man. I remember watching this. It was on one of the movie channels. I remember watching that. Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can find this poster. That would be sick, actually.
Dude, that would actually, and I guarantee you it would be a very cheap poster.
For sure.
It's either gonna be like $4.99 or like $499
because it's so rare. Yeah. Imagine meeting Ice-T too and getting one.
Oh my god.
But speaking of that, another big one around that time, and I'm wondering if you've seen this. I love this movie. And speaking of Charmed, Devil in the Flesh with Rose McGowan. Have you ever seen this?
No,
it is so good. I mean,
is that after Scream?
This has got to be before, I think. And there's a part 2 as well. This is, wonder what year this would have been. But this was like, I love this just as much as 98. Yeah, it must have been. It's after that.
Yeah, after. Wow.
That is weird. Is it really 98? I guess so.
Yeah. She died after the first one, so she really wasn't doing a lot like the other cast, I guess.
Yeah, this is cool, man. This is basically like she's like this girl that comes into town and ends up like trying to seduce her teacher. It's really, really cool. I don't know if this has a Blu-ray. If it does, I want it. But if you have it, if you can find this cheap, I highly, highly recommend. It was one that I watched a lot as a kid.
Devil's Flesh.
Devil in the Flesh.
Devil in the Flesh.
Okay, yep. Look at this. All right, so we do have some love for Devil in the Flesh. It's one of those ones I wasn't sure if a lot of people knew about. But yeah, I highly recommend that.
Speaking of Devil in the Flesh, have you ever seen this movie, Serpent's Lair?
No. What is that one?
It's with Jeff Faley from like Lawnmower Man.
What company put that out?
This is Code Red, but I got it from Kino. So
okay.
Yeah, Code Red. But yeah, it's a very sexual charged, and I can't remember, like it's like kind of supernatural. Like there's a suicide in the like they move in, this couple moves into an apartment and the strange things are happening. He's like the devil kind of. It's been a long time since I've seen this, but I remember it being really good. And I like Jeff Fay a lot. I
Jeff Fay, yeah. He's in something else I think that I might have over here.
And then it has Heather Midway in here. I guess she's from Viper and Fear, so she's in Fear.
I just wrote that down. Serpent's Lair. I don't know if anybody else in the chat is familiar with that one.
Yeah, I got that in the Kino. So look how passionate that is.
I love it. What's up, your hangout? And what's up, everybody in the chat that I haven't said hi to? we've got a lot to talk about, but a House in the Hills. I don't know that one.
Helen Slater, Michael Madsen.
Okay, so it doesn't have a Blu-ray. All right.
You know what I was. You know what I wanted to. It's on Tubi, but sometimes I don't like watching Tubi just because of the ad placements. Was that Dream Lover? I wanted to get that, but for some,
that in here.
Do you have it on Blu-ray? I saw it's a Blu-ray, but it must be out of print because it's sold out everywhere. Okay. Yeah, a Warner Archive. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, is that the Blu-ray? Who's at the Blu-ray? Is it a Warner Blu-ray?
I think so. Yeah. But it was weird. It said it came out in like 2021, but I couldn't. It was sold out everywhere. So I was like, does that mean it's out of print?
It could.
Because I doubt there was a huge, huge rush to get Dream Lover.
Yeah, I mean, I would check eBay and see what the price point is on it. If it's like really pricey, then yeah, it's probably out of print. If it's not, then it's probably something to just snag.
Yeah, and then I saw the DVD was for like $20, and I was like, is it worth $20, or should I just watch on Tubi?
I would say watch it on Tubi first, and if you think you like it, I would probably just snag it.
Yeah, I don't mind Tubi, but I just hate like their ad placements. You could tell that they have no idea. They just throw it in at a certain, so it could be like a suspenseful scene, and then it goes into a commercial. Yeah,
and then the commercials are long too. Sometimes I'm like, what the heck are they doing? It's like taking forever to get back to this thing. But we talked about like the big ones, Basic Instinct. We talked about Sliver. We talked about, what is the other big one? Fear, I guess, would be big, but that was kind of like in the mid 90s. Wild Things was big. I think that did really well. Fatal Attraction, we said that was 80s. Disclosure, I didn't have that. I know Demi Moore did a lot of stuff. Oh, I was just going to talk about that.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you were skipping over it. Okay.
No, I wanted to talk about this one because I absolutely love Jennifer Jason Leigh. Mm-hmm. So anything that she's in, I'm usually all about it.
Yeah.
So I love this movie so much. Mm-hmm. And it does have a Blu-ray from Scream Factory. I just don't have it.
Yeah.
And I wish I did. I mean, it's one that's been in my car a long time, but I just, it was kind of pricey, so I just never ended up getting it. But what a great movie this is. This is another big one. And like I said, I remember my parents going to the movies, and this was another one that they went to see. So these movies were really kind of hitting home runs back then.
Yeah, I remember watching this, and Steve Weber from Wings is in it. So, like when I would watch things, I would like, oh, he's from Wings. So I'd like, for some reason, I'd be more invested in the movie, Man, and then we forgot like in Fatal Attraction with the whole rabbit scene, and then they have the dog scene. It's like, oh man. Have you seen the second one? I've not seen.
I have not. No.
Neither have I.
No.
Actually, who is it? Starships of Greatness sent me a video of him watching the second one today. He said he was getting ready for the stream.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm curious how it is. I mean, I've never seen the sequels to Wild Things either. I don't know if those are shit or not. But this was the one I was going to talk about. I swore I had this Indecent Proposal. I couldn't find it in my collection. And there was another one with Julia Roberts that I couldn't find either that I thought I had. If you guys know which one I'm talking about with Julia Roberts, but Indecent Proposal.
Sleeping with the Enemy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
But it's funny that people talk about, this is right. These were two big ones, right? I brought Striptease to the table. What did I do with it? I just had it.
Is Striptease a thriller? For some reason, I thought it was a comedy. I've never seen Striptease.
I would say Striptease is a thriller. I would say over a comedy for sure. I just had it somewhere. What did I do with it? I don't know what I just did with that.
I never saw Striptease, but I remember seeing the commercial when I was a kid. I was like, oh wow, I want to see that.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah.
And I think Showgirls is kind of too, I guess, would be a little bit of a thriller as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like both of those movies, to be honest. I think I don't know. Somebody said comedy. I don't think Striptease is a comedy. I don't feel that way, at least. Nah. No.
The Bodyguard essential thriller. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think I don't know actually. I guess if you were say, hey, because I love The Bodyguard, but I guess I wouldn't even think about it being a thriller,
Right.
even
It's
though
hard. It could
yeah,
probably be considered a thriller in some aspect, but not
yeah,
like a sexual thriller or anything like
yeah.
that. Sensual thriller. But Ben Grimm brings up a good one. What's up, guy? This was another big one. Cruel Intentions. It was another huge one for me as a teen. Like this, Wild Things. Like I loved these kind of like thrillers of this time where it kind of even borders on like, when you go to put these on your shelf, I have horror section and stuff. So I'm like, does it kind of fit in here, or is it more like these kind of walk that fine line like between, especially around this time where like you were getting movies like Faculty and Phantoms and all this stuff, and you're like, well, this is like kind of a similar teen cast with some death in it and stuff like that. Like, do these kind of fit into the mix? And it's hard. Like they walk fine lines, and I think that's why so many people that love horror movies like really dig these kind of movies as well, because it's got some elements of that in there.
Yeah. And it was at the time too where there was like, because from what I recall, there's like no nudity in that movie.
On which one?
In Cruel Intentions. So it's like all imagine, it's all imagine.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Selma Blair doesn't know what. Yeah, no, I guess you're right. I guess there isn't really.
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions 3. I never seen any of the sequels as well.
Yeah, neither have I.
But man, people are going nuts in here, dude. Like with things, like I can't even keep up. But Starship's Greatness. Somebody asked about Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, it's called Enough. Is that thriller that she's in? Yeah, I don't have that. I don't think, but it's actually decent. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Enough. She also did like it would be considered an erotic thriller, The Boy Next Door, and I actually really like that too. It was a Blumhouse movie. Actually, it came out a couple years ago, where like she has sex with the kid next door, not the kid next door, but like she's like a teacher and he's like a 18-year-old student. Her husband's cheating on her, so she has sex with this guy, and then he like becomes obsessed with her.
That's yeah, I never saw that. It's recent.
Like 2016 maybe.
Well, I would say with that being said, like we said we don't see a lot of these now, but we were seeing some of these even within like the last 10 years, and few and far between, but I always was drawn to a lot of these. So is there any other ones that you want to bring up that you're like, what, that actually was really good? I have a couple here that were, in my opinion, semi-recent. Which my recent and people's recents are very, very different, because I could say something's recent and literally 15 years ago, and people be like, dude, I was like 10 when that came out,
Yeah. There are so actually I have a lot, because when they do come out, it's far and few between. I go and see them, and there's a lot of them. I didn't even grab any of them, but I did grab this movie. It's called Inconceivable. It's with Gina Gershon and Nicolas Cage and Faye Dunaway. It's a good movie, and you could tell they took a lot of inspiration from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I got it from Redbox one day, like a long time ago. I think this is from like 2015, something like that. And I was really impressed with it. I liked it a lot.
All right, well, here's another one. This isn't really that new, but I thought this was really cool. Derailed with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
you remember that? Man, yeah. What a twist this movie had. Like, and it says in the back the thriller of the year. This came out 2005. So this was really good. And I remember when I saw this, I was like, wow, like this really kind of swerved me a little bit. And I think it even exhibits in this, and
exhibits.
Exhibit RZA, Clive Owen, Jennifer Aniston. So yeah, this is a cool one if anybody hasn't seen this one. And good call, Creepy Onion. That movie Chloe as well is pretty cool. That came out around that time.
I like that movie a lot.
You know what else I have here? I can't even believe I own this, but it just shows how much I like these kind of movies that I would buy this.
Dude, I love Obsessed
with Beyonce. Like, that's not like my type of stuff. Like, I have no Beyonce, but this movie is pretty good, actually. It's very similar to what we got in the 90s. This came out in probably the mid 2000s. maybe like 2010 or something. I don't know, but this was good, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, there's one with Katherine Heigl that was really good. I like too. I can't remember, like Unforgiven, something. But
Well, there's
I
Unfaithful.
Yeah, Unfaithful. That was with
Michael Douglas again, wasn't it?
No, it was
I think
Richard
it
Gere.
was.
I think it was Richard Gere.
Oh, was it?
yeah,
Those two guys
yeah,
get all the
yeah.
chicks, man.
I know. I think it's Richard Gere, and I know that the girl from The Hand That Rockets the Cradle, Rebecca Demoy, she had a movie in like 1995 with Antonio Banderas called like Never Talk to Strangers or something. Yeah, unforgettable. I thought that was good.
I don't have Unfaithful. I may write that one down. I remember when that came out. That was like they tried to make that was almost the return of the erotic thriller type thing, and everybody really was into it. But for whatever reason, it never really led to a lot more.
And I feel like when they make them now, they kind of are more watered down. Like they're kind of teeter the line of like the like Lifetime for movie.
Sure. Did you see it? Did you see Unfaithful? I think I saw it when it came up, but I don't own it.
Yeah, I don't own it either.
I agree. Jennifer Aniston, RZA, and Exhibit. Yeah, I would say you got to see it. It's really good. And one I want to talk about before we go back in time again is just because I have them right in front of me. Is this came out, and I remember my wife was like, "Let's go see this." I'm like, some chick flick. I don't really want to go see that. She's like, "Please, I always go see what you want." I was like, "Fine." And I freaking loved this movie, man. I think you could kind of call it like an erotic thriller, kind of. I think this is a great movie, and it's Gone Girl.
Oh, dude, Gone Girl's amazing.
How good is this movie, man?
Yeah. I took my grandma to see that because she loved the book.
Wow.
Yeah. So my grandma's a huge fan of the book, and so I took her to go see this movie, and she said that it was pretty close to the book.
I didn't even know this was a book. I just remember going to see it and being completely like blown away because I went into it so negative because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be garbage. What is this? I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know there was a book. I never even saw a trailer for this thing.
Oh wow.
And when I saw this for the first time, I was like, that was a really cool movie. And I highly recommend if anybody sees this and they're like, oh, Ben Affleck movie, I don't want to see. This is a awesome freaking movie. It's so damn good, and this is a great addition to it.
It is, yeah. Have you seen? So the same person who wrote the book, they had another movie come out after that called Girl on a Train. That was pretty good.
Oh, I never watched it, but I've heard of it. Where like she kept going on the train and seeing different things in the windows. I never saw that movie, but I heard it was really good.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good. It's not as good as Gone Girl, but it is good. And it's along the same line, so it's it's the same people doing it. So,
yeah, Gone Girl's great, but this is, oh man, I forgot 9.5 weeks. I do have that's Vicky Vale. What is her name, right?
Oh, Kim Basinger.
Dude, Kim Basinger is. I love Kim Basinger.
Yeah, man. She was like one of my first crushes. That was Kim Basinger.
Eyes Wide Shut. That's a really good one as well. Very, very good movie for sure. I'm gonna throw this up there just because people might get a kick out of it because people always ask me about it. I don't know if this could be considered a thriller. It's got a erotic thriller-esque cover of this VHS. I have still never seen it. Kicks.
Dude, so man, ever since you did that stream when you were talking about Kicks, I looked up the trailer and now I'm always getting recommended stuff for Kicks, and I always laugh. Yes.
Look at this. Like I don't like this thing. This is all it's got, right? Western World Video VHS tape. Look at that. It's got a girl scantily clad with like a snake looking at her or whatever.
Yes, a snake that's like skin color.
This is sick, dude.
Yeah, man. Sick. That's funny.
When are we gonna get a Kicks on 4K? Anyway,
it's the next VSU.
I still never seen it. It's just like I remember seeing that like at a store, and I was just so intrigued by it. I was like, I need this. I've never heard of it. Oh my god! I guess you could call it a thriller. Holy crap! I didn't bring it to the table. I love Knock Knock, dude. I love it so much.
So do I. You know what? And there's like only a handful of people I know who watch it. I actually it was Mike. I think Mike watched it off of my recommendation. I forgot what it was. Something came up and he was doing something. I was, oh, you should watch Knock Knock. He's like, okay, I've never heard of that. So I sent him the trailer and he watched it. He said he really liked it a lot. But yeah, Knock Knock. I like that movie, and I don't know many people who do.
Well, yeah, Slasher doesn't like it. I love Knock Knock. I freaking love it. It's probably, to be honest, it's one of my. I think I did a Roth ranking with Dead Pit. I think it was one of my top, and I think they even agreed with me.
Wow.
I think they actually felt that it was like one of their favorite Roth movies as well.
It was free pizza.
Yeah, it's actually a remake, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Of Grindhouse Video just put out the Blu-ray for it. I forget what the name of the movie was called, but yeah, it's Knock Knock is kind of like a Roth remake of it, but it was so good, man. I mean, you put yourself in a situation like that, like it's crazy. It's crazy to even just kind of think about, you know?
Yeah. So I actually saw it. Like me and my my buddy watched it, and he's cheated on a girlfriend before, so he was freaking out the whole time. So he was always like, "Hey man, you want to turn it off? We can." I was like, "I'm fine." but so like I wonder, because I've never cheated on a girlfriend, so I wonder if you have cheated on a girlfriend, if it affects you a little different, you know? Because like I think in his mind he's like, "Yep, that'd be me dug in the hole," you know.
For sure. And then it's so funny because at the end he's in the hole and like everybody's seeing what's going on, and he goes to get his phone, he hits like he liked his own video, whatever.
Yeah.
like what an asshole.
Yeah.
So funny.
Chocolate with sprinkles. Yeah.
People have been talking about this all day, and of course I was gonna bring this up. So the thrillers were so hot in the 80s and 90s, and of course Corey Haim had to get his ass involved, dude. Freaking blown away, man. I know people were bringing this up in the chat. This is like, you gotta see this movie. It's an erotic thriller with Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and Nicole Eggert. Like, I mean, this is...
okay, Nicole Eggert.
You gotta see this movie, man. Like, for real. Like, it's... the sex scenes with her and Haim, sex scenes with her and Feldman. Like, it's legit, man. And I remember going to meet Nicole Eggert at a convention, and I had a picture of her and Haim because they dated for a long time. So I had a picture of them that she signed her, and she was like, "Oh, I miss him so much," blah blah. Awesome. And the dude in front of me had the blown away poster to have her sign, and I was like, "Dude, that's so sick."
That's funny, man. I had the biggest crush on her when I was a kid, when she was Ellie Mae.
What?
No, for Ellie Mae from
Charles in Charge.
No, what the hell's that?
Ellie Mae.
Yeah, she played Ellie Mae in the Hickory Nut Crunch. She was what the hell's the movie called? Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, Beverly Hillbillies, the movie.
Dude, I've only seen that movie one time.
Oh, dude, that movie was.
I forgot she was even in that.
Yeah, she plays Ellie Mae.
Oh my god, that's wild.
Yeah, and then she was in Under Siege. She plays like the Playboy model.
Oh yeah, she was in some good stuff. I mean, I mainly remember her from Baywatch. Like that's really what I remember her mostly by. But this Baywatch girl played her, he said.
Wait, who am I thinking of?
Nicole Eggert was Baywatch. She was also Charles in Charge.
Okay, so who am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking of the girl from
Baywatch, the other blonde.
Yeah, the other blonde. Okay, the girl from like not Demon Lover. What's the guy?
No, but you were right. She's also the one that was in Under Siege.
Under Siege, yeah. And
yeah.
Okay, and she's in the Tales from the Crypt movie, the second one. Yeah,
Bordello of Blood.
Yeah,
so that's why I was confused because I've only seen Beverly Hillbillies once, so I could have mistaken. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, Under Siege, Haim and Feldman had to get themselves in there, and other ones too. Like at this point, we can just kind of spitball some stuff that we haven't talked about yet. Snapdragon with Pam Anderson.
I was just going to talk. This is probably the most erotic thriller I have is Snapdragon.
So yeah, I mean, so she got herself involved. This is how hot that these movies were at the time. Like Pam Anderson was getting involved in there. Mm-hmm. I grabbed a couple other ones. Like this one, I don't remember this one at all. Maybe people in the chat can tell me about it. I own it. I don't remember it. It's Uma Thurman, Kiss Daddy Goodnight. Has anybody seen this? Nor I don't remember much about this at all, but I saw it on my shelf and I was like, I don't remember this, but I think this kind of fits in that category. So I'll bring it to the table and see if anybody else has anything that they want to talk about it.
And to go back to Snapdragon real quick, how I talk about like actors being in the same kind of things, but this has Stephen Bauer from Scarface, and also has the dad from Hand the Rocks to Cradle. So of course they were probably in these successful thrillers, and they threw them in here.
Well, because they saw Gear and Michael Douglas getting with all these hot chicks, and they're like, I want to go back to those movies. Let's just do those. Yeah. He's like, I want to do the Pam Anderson one.
Yeah.
But it was a wild time, and this was another one. If you like, the reason I was into this is because I'm a big fan of 3 O'Clock High with what the hell's his name? Tom. He plays Crisp, and he was in
Tyson.
Yeah. Richard Tyson.
Yeah.
And he was in Two Moon Junction.
Oh wow, okay.
So this is pretty cool.
Hey, how was he meeting? I've heard he's a kind of a strange guy.
He's strange, dude, but he was so nice.
Was he? Okay.
At least with me, but he can come off like, I think he kind of plays gimmick a little bit, because he kind of sits at his table and he'll like he almost acts like the dude from 3 O'Clock High.
Okay.
But he was nice. Like we talked for a while, because like he was posing with me and my friends, and like he sold brass knuckles and he signed them, so that's what I got.
Oh, that's
signed.
awesome.
Yeah, so which was cool. And he was talking to us. He loves baseball, so like we knew that. So we brought up like baseball, and he was like, "Oh, talking about it and stuff." So he kind of stays in gimmick a little bit, I feel like, but I think overall he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of his. So when he was announced at a convention, I was like, "Oh, 100%, I'm gonna get him."
I remember seeing the picture of you, or you took a picture of him, and you like put like the bathroom behind you, and I thought it was real, because I remember asking you, I was like, dude, did you really get a picture? How'd you get him in the bathroom to take the picture?
He's no wonder why he looked so pissed in the picture. This guy's out there hose in the urinal with him. Yeah,
that's funny,
that was cool. And you know who else I met that stayed in gimmick, and it really threw me off? Like, really, it was one of the worst experiences I ever had with a celebrity, because I didn't know what to think. Was friggin' Tiny Lister, dude. He played, he acted like Debo in character. He wouldn't leave character.
Dang,
he was such a dick. And I couldn't tell if he was being 100% serious or not. Like, I could not see if he was acting like his character, if he was being himself. Like, he was so rude to everybody. And I was like, what is this guy's deal? I had the worst experience with him. I mean, I got an autograph, but like the picture came out like shit, because he was like didn't look like he wanted to be there. And I still to this day didn't know if he was acting or if he was not in a good mood at all.
Well, he was on a reality show, like it was like Anna Nicole Smith's reality show, and I remember like it was like him and X-Pac showed up to the house, and like they were really weird, and like they weren't very nice. And I know it was just weird. So I don't know. But then after he passed away, everyone was like, "Oh, he was so nice," and this and that. I was like, okay, so I guess I don't know.
Well, speaking of that, I'm going to a wrestling convention tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw you're gonna meet Dennis Rodman.
Rodman, baby.
Dude,
yeah. What do I get signed though? I don't have anything. I was hoping to have like a part of me was like, do I order the Van Damme poster with him on it? Like, I wanted to do that, but then I'm like, but that'll never hit the wall probably. So I'm like, what do I get? Do I just get an 8x10? Do I get a basketball? Like, what do I do with Rodman?
Yeah, man, there's so many different things. Like I was a big Rodman fan in the 90s. I think my sister has his doll from when he was like his him in the wedding dress. I think my sister has
he had a doll.
Yeah, he had a doll back in the night. It was like a Barbie. It was like him in the wedding dress, and it was a huge thing. But yeah,
really, I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting.
Yeah, man.
So you're saying I should get a picture of him in 90s Bulls gear?
90s Bulls gear, yeah, man.
A Rodman pick with Madonna. Like, at this point, because it's tomorrow, I literally just have to probably pick something at his table. Like, that's where it's going to come down to.
And he might, I guess, dude, honestly, maybe just a basketball, like you said. Basketball would be super cool.
I'm thinking of that, but then I'm also like, well, where do I put it? Like, do I put it in a glass case? And then if I do, where do I have it in the, I don't have a lot of space. So I don't know. I'm really all over the place right now. Like, a part of me is like, do I go check out what it's at his table? If there's nothing I want, run to the store, to Walmart, and get a basketball and come back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I really don't know.
And hopefully he's not like Carl Weathers, where it's like, if it's like 3D, it's like $200. All of a sudden the price goes up.
Oh yeah. I don't know
why I could see that being Dennis Rodman's deal?
I wanted to get the double team poster. I don't like getting physical media signed.
Yeah.
I have done that in the past, and I just found that it's really hard to display. And then if it's on your shelf, then the autograph gets ruined, pulling things in and out. I just don't like getting physical media signed, and especially because formats change so much and cooler editions come out so much, then you're forced to kind of hang on to something because it's signed. So I have a lot of DVDs that are signed that I kind of regret now.
Yeah.
For those many reasons, because it's like it forces you to hang on to them, and they're just in the shelf with everything else, not displayed properly or whatever. I don't have a Rodman jersey actually. I wish I did.
One. Yeah,
I wish I did, but I don't. I actually have no jerseys anymore. I have zero, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was big into basketball jerseys for a little while when I was a kid.
Yeah, I would love to get a Rodman, Pippen, and a
Jordan 45 or 23.
23.
Wow, he was 350.
Wow. Okay.
No way. That's insane.
Yeah, man. So yeah, when I met him in the end of 2020, and dude, he had a long line, and everybody had boxing gloves and everything like that. And like, as you got closer, they made announcements. They're like, hey, it's $60 for something flat, but if it's 3D, like a Funko Pop and whatnot, it's going to be $200. So it was sad to see all these people just kind of part out of his line. So the line was very short after that. So I got some things signed. I'm glad I almost brought I have a Chubbs from Happy Gilmore, his Funko Pop. I almost brought that.
So Carl Weathers was somebody that I had seen many times at a convention. It was always one of those things I'm like, I'll get him eventually because he's always here.
Yeah.
Obviously his prices I think went up because I don't ever remember him being that expensive, but I mean, this was going back years ago. But I do regret not getting it because I had seen him so many times, and with him passing, I'm like, shit. Because I can literally remember being on eBay trying to find those tough wear gloves. The actual ones, like, because I wanted him to sign one. I wanted to get Lundgren to sign one. Like, I was trying to collect those because I did meet Lundgren. Yeah, I got a picture with him. I got him to sign. What the hell did I get him to sign?
Was it does he do conventions?
He did Rhode Island Comic-Con once, yeah.
Dang, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but I was trying to get that glove and whatnot for him, but it didn't end up working out to getting him. But what did you get signed by him, did you say?
I got a Rocky poster signed by him, and then I got an 8x10 for Happy Gilmore, and I got an 8x10 for.
So you have 3 of his autos,
and then I have an 8x10 of Predator.
Wow, that's
And so I actually had a positive experience with him. He was very nice to me because when I went up to him, I talked to him about Action Jackson. So he told me all about Action Jackson, about how it was supposed to be a franchise and it just didn't do well, and there's a lot of like red tape. So he talked to me for a while about that, and then he started talking to me about how Adam Sandler was his favorite person to work with. So he was very nice to me, but I've heard stories where he wasn't very nice to a lot of people. But I had a positive experience with him.
That's cool. I mean, it's like I said, people said, it's sometimes not good to meet your heroes, but there's other times where you have those good experiences and it's all worth it,
But I'm also someone who wasn't excited to have him sign boxing gloves and then didn't have $200 to pay for it.
Well, I mean, that's crazy. Like, I think it's silly that they change the prices per object. They're doing the same thing, right?
Well, because at first I was like, why? Because like one of his handlers came out and said something, and I couldn't hear because I was like towards the back of the line, and you just see like it was people parted and went everywhere. I was like, oh, is he leaving somewhere? And they're like, all right. I was like, okay. And then when I got up there, I saw, I was like, oh, all these people left, boxing gloves. Because that'd be like your number one. And he probably knew that too. So he's like, all right. But yeah, I don't like when people charge more and people are charging for like
big
normal
posters
size
too. Oh my God. Yeah. You know who does that is Anthony Michael Hall. And I'm like, come on, dude, really? Like, why?
Yeah,
why are you more money to sign it? I'm like, I can just roll out a piece of it and have you sign it. I don't have to put the whole thing on your table. Like, I can make this as convenient as it would be to sign an 8x10. And plus, I'm not taking one of your 8x10s. So what, it shouldn't be more, right? This is my item. It's not like I'm taking from you. It's weird,
Yeah, and you know what I'm noticing people doing now too? I noticed this when Robert Englund last year. So he'll sign, it was like the base pay for something. But then if you want a name, it's going to be an extra
Yep.
$20. If you want a quote, and it's like there's 2 quote options. You can have four letters or 8 letters, or 4 words or 8 words. And it's like, so by the time it's like $300 for, like, if you want all that, because I'm somebody who likes, the whole thing. We're like you like the signature. So it's just like, dang, man.
Well,
Like,
it's funny because
hopefully that doesn't become a trend.
I mean, I'm sure they're always trying to find ways to like the 90s con is really cool. I've never been. What I heard about that, which I'm really excited about, is they have a lot of like setups, like 90s setups, like a 90s bedroom where you can go and like you can take a picture in it, so it makes it look like you're in like an old bedroom. They've got like different
awesome.
like setups that you can take pictures with your friends, and I think that's a real cool idea. But it's $75 to get in the door. Like that's
to get in.
Wow.
Okay.
That's pricey for a convention, man. And then you're going in on everything else that you want to do. So I'm like, that's the only thing that's going to suck. I'm like, oh, man, I want to go and I want to meet Gina Davis and Alyssa Milano, but I'm like, that's going to already be, just with all those 3 things, I'm like already going to be like over $200 out,
Dude,
just from those 3 things.
Who has $75 to get in? Like an average person's, like there's nobody
like
off the street that's going to go
something.
there. Yeah.
Oh,
dang, man.
It's crazy. And I'm like, is this where it's going? Because I've never seen a $75 fee to get in the door. It's usually $40 maybe.
Dang, here's like 20. Here's like 25 if you order online, and then 30 at the door.
Yeah, I mean this is why I don't go to a lot of conventions, or at least when I do, I don't get a lot of stuff anymore. Thankfully, I have a lot of stuff with these people, so I usually only end up going and be like, oh, I want to meet 2 people, and that might be a little bit of money. Where back in the day, that same amount of money, I would have got 10 people, right? So, let me see what they say. I don't know how it works. I mean, maybe you're right, but I mean, it's going to be an expensive weekend for sure. I mean, just to get in the door and meet them, like it really isn't. And I even told Cody, like, they have the whole cast of Step by Step. You don't think I want to like get Sasha or at least, and those are like ones that I'm like, they're on the back burner now. Topanga's going to be there. I wouldn't mind meeting Sean and have him sign my Cabin Fever poster. Like, there's so much that I would like to do, but I'm thinking to myself, like, when it comes to money, like what's just worth it and what isn't, and that's what sucks. I wish I could do more.
And it sucks too, like when you charge like that, like say it's your first convention and you don't do well, then you're afraid they're not going to come back, and you're like, dang, I missed my chance. Like this is the first time I've ever seen the cast of Step by Step do anything like this. I could be wrong. They could be doing this all the time, but nowhere in my area. Yeah. So it's like, what if they go and, like Mark doesn't do well, so he doesn't come back. So it's like, dang, I would have got him on like a Beethoven poster, like, it's just like, I want these people to do well, but I have a feeling like the cast of Step by Step, I have a feeling they're going to have a very small line. But
they should be smart and do like, like bundle packs. Like you get all of us, it costs cheaper than if you get us individually. You know what I mean? Like they should be smart with stuff like that, because that would help everybody. And I'm going to probably I'm definitely going to get a picture with Milano 100%. Gina Davis, I don't know, just because she's really pricey. So I kind of got to be picky and choosy with her. And I want her on that fly poster to go with Goldblum. So her autograph is more important than a picture. Alyssa Milano, I'm on the fence for either one. Like I'll get maybe both. I'll get just one. But yeah, I mean, it's the convention scene's interesting, man. And it's fun as hell, but yeah, like these things cost you, and that's why it's hard to go. And when you go to these shows and it's loaded with people, it gets crazy. And going back to what we talked about a little earlier, where you said you had a Topanga shirt and people were like, and you're like, should I wear this? So here's a funny story. I went to a chiller convention, and I don't remember her real name, but Stephanie Tanner was there.
Yeah.
And she had a table when you went up, and my friend Tom walked up because he's like, oh, I'm definitely getting Stephanie Tanner. I'm like, all right. So we walked up to his table. Her table was split in halves. This section was only her pictures as a little kid. And then this section over here was only her pictures in lingerie.
Oh, wow.
So you walk up and you're like, you're a 40-year-old guy, and you're like, which one do I pick here?
I know.
She's sitting right there, and you're like, if I pick the little kid, do I look like a creep? If I pick the one in her in lingerie, do I look like a creep? Like, what do I pick? So my friend ended up picking like the little kid one from when she was on the show.
Yeah. Well,
But it was just, I was
yeah,
like, this is weird for sure, you know? And
Yeah.
then you walk up to her with the one you pick, like, here you go. And like,
Yeah, no.
is she judging you by based on which one you choose?
I know. It's funny.
Jodie Sweden, yeah, Jodie
Yeah,
Sweden.
Jodie Sweden. Christian just sent us a what? Wasn't she just promoting like a sex toy on
Yes.
Valentine's Day?
Yeah, so that's what she's doing now, which is freaking weird, man.
Gosh, she's gonna be. Well, I guess it's better than what was it? She was doing the meth or something, so it's better than meth, I guess.
That's true. She was into drugs and stuff for a while.
Yeah, she like kept it from her husband, who was a police officer. It's like, dang,
this is interesting. Chris is right. Danielle Harris is very similar to that. She is. I've met her boatloads of time, and yes, I have a picture of her in lingerie. I have a signed picture of her because that's what one of the things was like. It was either that or a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time I was like, oh, I'll pick this one. Mm-hmm. And then I met her a second time and I got the scissors sign that, and I have like in a display box with the clown mask. So
yeah,
I gave her a prop this time. So, because that is her only things really, unless you have like, you bring like a Halloween 4 poster or whatever. I also got her on a Rob Zombie Halloween DVD, which I have like the whole cast on, which is one of those things that's cool, but I kind of regret it because I have like the whole cast on like a DVD.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm sure these people are used to it though, because like you grew up watching them on this, so I'm sure they're used to that.
They just weigh in there. I mean, Scout, yes, but she doesn't, Scout doesn't have a lot of like pictures of her as a young kid. What's up, zombie? But yeah, I mean, it is an interesting situation when you go up there because some of these kids, like some of these kid actors, because you're going to have pictures of when they were at their peak, right? So they're going to be a little kid pictures.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Topanga is going to have all pictures of her as a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
You and me both, brother. Dude, I'm usually pretty good with like talking to people. But for some reason, when I every time I get to Scout, I like can't get a word out. Like it's so freaking weird. I can't. I'm like, I don't know. It's strange. I do too, man. But speaking of Crush, really quick, I did pull this out. This is new. It's like it's kind of a remake, I guess. Crush. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's like I don't think it's a remake, but it's a similar concept. It's basically like shoot, I'm getting this confused now, I think. It's definitely a thriller, but I am getting this confused with another movie that came out around this time called The Roommate. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's kind of similar to that.
I actually own The Roommate. That's like the last movie I bought from Blockbuster was The Roommate, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's actually pretty good, actually.
Is it? Okay.
It's decent, yeah. But yeah, that one is another one that I just figured I'd throw in. It was The Crush. It came out in like the 2000s. It's pretty good. It's more modern.
There's actually one too that was recently called The Intruder that I liked. It was with not Richard Gere, Dennis Quaid.
I never saw it.
Yeah, it was in theaters a few years back. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's where like these Dennis Quaid, he's like selling his family home, like his kids. Well, you don't really know what's going on, but he's selling his home. He seems like a nice old guy, and then he sells his house. He wants to sell it to the perfect couple, so he sells it to this couple, but he keeps showing up unannounced, and like he's like going in there at night, and there's camera, So he's like this creep guy. It's pretty good movie.
I brought this one, 1997's Breakdown. I know it's not really sex driven, but it, I guess you consider it a thing. This and The Vanishing to me go like hand in hand.
Oh, dude, I like The Breakdown is one of my favorite movies. And Vanishing, I love Vanishing. I've only seen the American version, but I thought it was really good.
Oh yeah, with Kiefer Sutherland in it.
Yeah,
it's so good, so good. But I know a lot of people like the original one better. I've actually never seen the original one. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Well, everyone telling me like when I'm like, oh man, I really like the American, or this one, like, oh, that one sucks. I'm like, oh really? So I feel like I'm gonna watch the original one. I was like, I better be blown away, but I'm gonna watch it and be like, that's all right,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's subtitled too, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know for a fact, but I think it's Criterion, I think, put it out.
Yeah.
I don't own it actually, but what I wanted to talk about quick as well is that as much as like these movies aren't, out like they used to be, and they don't get as much love as they used to be. I find that a lot of these boutique labels are giving some of this stuff love. Like I have a stack here of these kind of movies that Scream Factory has done. I've got a stack here. My go-to when it comes to movies like this and finding ones that I had never seen before and is Kino. Kino does a lot of these kind of movies.
I have, when I was looking at my Kino section, man, I was like, that's a thriller. That's, you know, like, so I have a bunch of Kinos right now. Yeah. With me. And
if you or anybody else in the chat does not, I would follow my buddy at Video Interiors on Instagram. He's actually that's the picture I posted with Sliver.
Okay.
He is like, and if he's watching, man, what's up? He might be watching, but he's a great dude. And, that's like his favorite genre is erotic thrillers. So like, if you look at his setup is so freaking sick. It's like, he's got like an 80s white marble coffee table, big screen TV with neon lights. He's got like palm trees. Everything's white. It's freaking awesome. And he's got like all erotic thriller posters and stuff. And, you know, he has a little magazine rack on the floor with just like Playboys and stuff and like Penthouse mags all over it. Like he's so into that. And it's really, really cool. So and he knows I'm into it. So when I want to try to find new movies like that I haven't seen, I always reach out to him and say, hey, give me like Kino if I'm doing the sale, I'll be like, what do I need? And he'll always list like a bunch down. So I ended up grabbing a lot that he's recommended to me. And Kino, I didn't grab all of them, but just a couple different ones that Kino's done. And you guys can tell me in the chat, and even you, Cody, if you have these or not, but Bruce Willis Color of the Night.
No, but I know that they show his private area.
Yeah.
You get to see his Willis.
Follow Video Interior on Instagram. His page is awesome. But Goldie Hawn Deceived. So these are all ones that he's recommended to me. Some I've seen, some I haven't watched yet. Roy Schneider, Meryl Streep, Still of the Night.
Dang. It's funny, by these covers, I know I'm gonna like them. It's like
I know, and that's the this one I have watched, and it's freaking awesome. And it's called The Bedroom Window with Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, Steve Gut. Okay, every sale I want to buy this, and I always forget about it. But I heard it's really good.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I have Malice, Jesse. This one is The Victim.
The Victim. Who is that?
This is Elizabeth Montgomery.
Okay.
You got to follow Video Interiors for sure. Man. His page is so good. He's got such a good collection. He's been on my channel twice before, way back when he was like one of my first guests that I ever had on my show, and we stayed close friends ever since. Sybil Danning, They're Playing with Fire.
Never seen that either.
Very, very cool. See, these ones I don't remember. Spellbinder. I don't remember if this is something else. But this one, you know this one, I'm sure. Lisa.
Oh, dude, I love Lisa. Dude, because that's what I was thinking when you were like, hey, get some. I have an original one sheet of that. I was like, I would love to have her sign that. And she'll be at 90s Con.
She will. But if you want me to do it, send it soon because it's in a couple weeks. It's in March. It's in a couple weeks in March. But I mean, that would be a really cool poster to get signed. That's different, you know, and then you don't have to worry about getting all the cast, right? You can get just her.
Yeah, and I know she's like a lawyer now, so she doesn't really do stuff like this anymore. So that's why when I saw her, yeah. Oh, dude, they have an original one, and it's not expensive at all. It's like maybe $20 when I got it.
Yeah, you know what? Do you have I was even thinking, do I get a Kickboxer 2 poster? Like, or do I, because I would love to get Sasha to sign something.
Dude, I would love to give Sasha a Rad Dudes shirt. I know he would give two shits about it, but I don't know why. But yeah, I wanted Jesse. I do have Malice. It's a good movie.
Is that Kino?
It is Kino, yes.
All right. So let me write that down because again, I'm
Richard
so
Gere,
behind on Kino stuff right now that
or no, it's not Richard Gere. It's Alec Baldwin. I really thought Richard Gere was in this. Oh, it's Alec Baldwin.
Somebody else said, what's another one? Indecent Proposal, they said is from Kino too, right? I don't have that.
Yeah. Dude, doesn't this photo look like Richard Gere though?
It does look like Richard. It doesn't look like Alec Baldwin.
No, or Bill Pullman. It might be Bill Pullman. But yeah, it's Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei is going to be at 90s Con. Yep. Ooh. It's a great lineup. Unfortunately, it's just expensive, you know. And I saw somebody Blu-ray Addict asked who is the nicest and rudest. You know, it's hard to remember because I've met so many people, but the ones that stand out, like I said, is Tiny Lister stands out as a huge negative for me. That was a real uncomfortable experience. The first time I met Savini was shitty, but the second time I met Savini, he was fine. Those are the two that really stick out in my head. As far as nicest, I mean, I'm gonna always say I think Felissa Rose is probably one of the nicest freaking people out there. Like she's so nice that like if I asked her to come on a show, she'd probably come on. Like she literally, when I see her, and I've met her a bunch of times, she always remembers me, you know, every time I see her, like, oh, like, and you know, we'll talk about it. When we did Camp Radpack this year, she sent a welcome to Camp Radpack video for us to use. No charge, nothing. No. She is such a nice person. So I always want to make sure to spend time with her when I go because she's literally just so happy all the time, talks to the fans forever. She's a gem, man. Like if you guys ever have a chance to meet Felissa Rose, if you're a fan of Sleepaway Camp or not, like I've never met anybody that's that personable ever. So,
and I would like to add Matthew Lillard is super, super nice and very thankful for his fans. And I've heard that David Arquette is as well. I've never met David Arquette.
Were you part of that whole scheme to get me to buy Lillard's autograph?
No.
Part of that? Did I tell you? Did you not even see that?
No, yeah. I saw it, but yeah. But well, it was one of those things where it's like, dude, because he's coming back here in my area, and I was like, oh, you could have just waited. I could have got you something from him then.
What's up, Tabata? Dude, she's so damn nice, man. So damn nice. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a story about Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
So, well, I think you kind of know it. People in the chat. So, I was at a convention a couple of years ago, and this was before Scream 5 came out, because they were still people were still curious if Lillard or Skeet were going to be in it and stuff like that. And they were at a convention together in a room by themselves. Now the prices weren't crazy for them either at that time. They were moderately okay. The line was okay, a little bit long, but not like it is now. And I remember walking into this room and I said to myself, all right, I'm going to meet one more person. I'm going to get one more thing signed. And it's going to be this Scream mask that I have in my bag. So I'm in the room and you can choose. Do you want both? Do you want one? And I'm looking at Skeet, looking at Lillard. I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Who do I get? Da, 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 da. So I'm like scrolling the internet trying to see, is any of these guys in Scream 5? Do they know? And there was a picture of Skeet like in a car, like that someone took like on set or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I think he is going to be in it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to have him sign the mask because his price might go way up if he's going to be in this new movie. So I picked Skeet and I got him to sign the mask. And I said, you know what? I bought a knife and I said, you know, I'm going to eventually have Matthew Lillard sign this knife or whatever. I'll meet him eventually. And I remember telling the story recently, I think, to people, because I think he was going to do a convention, but his prices are so crazy now and his lines are nuts. Like you'll spend all day waiting in line for Matthew Lillard because since then he's done 5 Nights at Freddy's. So, I mean, like, it's insane to meet him now. Like they said, it's insanity. So I had this knife that I bought and I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? And I remember telling the story in a group chat that you're part of with a bunch of other people. And everybody was busting my balls saying, why would you ever choose Skeet over Matthew Lillard? Why would you ever do that? And I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, they're like, you'll never get his now because you'll spend all day in that line. So I went on to like an autograph auction site and I found a signed knife that they just did with authenticity and stuff, and I just bought it straight up. I'm like, forget it, I'm buying it. So I'm like, I got it out of the way now, you know. And it's crazy because now it's like I don't have to worry about meeting him anymore because I got this display with like a signed Skeet mask, signed Lillard knife, and whatnot. But yeah, it's just kind of weird that you guys, the peer pressure of you bastards.
Yeah, he's super nice, very nice guy. If you do meet him someday,
he did seem nice that day because they were all in the same room. So I think he was like standing on the table, like talking, like yelling to people and stuff like that. So yeah, he was good. But Yeah, just thought it was a wild story. Now, what were you saying? I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's not like this. Would you consider this
Ooh,
an action or a erotic thriller? There's a lot of sex
well,
and nudity
Cynthia
in it.
Rock.
Yeah, there's a lot of sex and nudity in it.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
And it's like a
Again,
thriller action.
of course, you could throw those in there. Vinegar
fun movie.
Syndrome's doing some cool stuff with some of those erotic thrillers as well. Some of those
Yeah.
thrillers.
And it has
Um,
I had no idea that Brad Dourif was in this.
I didn't even know that either.
Yeah, he has like one scene or a couple scenes. He's like a guy who's up in trial or up. He's going through trial.
You met Steven Seagal.
Oh wow.
That's pretty cool.
You know who I met that was a dick to me was Chris Sarandon, and then I met him again the second time, and he was super nice. It must have been just the day, man.
Yeah, because I had met him a few times, and 2 times he was very nice. But there was one time I was with Piz, and he was a dick.
Yeah, I have this poster where I'm getting everybody on from Child's Play on it, and I was having him sign it. I was like, "Oh, I'd love to see you in do something new with Child's Play." He looked at me, he's like, "Don't hold your breath," but he was just like he wasn't happy. And then so in my mind, I was like, "Okay, well maybe it was because he doesn't like Child's Play." So, anyways, it was another convention. I was like, "Okay, I want to get him to sign something from Jack Skeleton." He was super super nice. So I don't know if he just
maybe he was like, I didn't have a big enough role in that.
I know, yeah.
Well, it's funny. We're going to talk about Sarandon in a second, actually, because I want to talk about Scream Factory are putting out some of these cool movies as well. And you know, it might not seem like they're not at the forefront of their label, but they're hidden in there. This one is a Scream Factory or Shout Factory double pack DVD. It's for Angel and Red and a movie called Streets.
Okay.
So this is a double feature that I grabbed back in the day. This is a Tom Holland, The Temp.
Oh man, I'm a fan of The Temp.
Tom Holland, I'm a big fan of him too.
Yeah,
so
man. I was watching the special features of this, and like, man, the ending, he wanted it to be as epic as Child's Play 2, but they kept cutting his budget, and they kept telling him no. It's like, dang, that would have been cool. So yeah, if you watch the interview on there, he talks about this. He had this big elaborate ending scene.
You know what? I think I'm going to watch this tonight.
The Temp?
So I'm going to watch it again. Yeah, it's been a while. Another one from Shout Factory, Bad Influence with Spader and Rob Lowe.
Yep, that's a good movie. It's out of print, man. I remember I wanted to get that, and it was out of print.
Oh, this is out of print currently?
Mm-hmm.
Double feature, Killing Me Softly and Hot Spot. This is another Shout Factory. Fear City. Shout Factory. So again, these are ones if anybody hasn't seen or whatever, it might be worth buying. Unlawful Entry. Again, this is another Shout Factory. There's The Crush. We talked about it. Here's Sarandon. This is a Sarandon joint. Lipstick. Have you ever seen this?
No, but I've seen the cover. Yeah.
It's one to be seen, but it's a pretty disturbing movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So this girl's a model. And Sarandon is a teacher of her little sister, and her little sister, she's like, oh, my sister's a model. She knows a lot of big people, and and Sarandon on the side makes music. So he's like, oh, would you mind introducing me to your sister? Maybe she can. The girl's like, my sister might be able to help you get your music published or whatever. So he ended up meeting her, and then a bunch of I don't want to give it away, but a bunch of shit goes down, and then the last half of this is they're in court. And it's a pretty intense movie.
And that's Scream Factory?
Yeah, I would recommend it, but just be under the mindset that it's very it's a tough watch. There's rape in it, there's a lot of, and Sarandon is a fucking bastard in this movie, dude. Like, it's crazy to see this character that he's playing, and you're like, wow, like this must have been a real hard role for him to play. But I would definitely recommend checking it out for sure. And yeah, Streets is with Christina Applegate. Yep.
I was just gonna ask you that. Is that where like the cops following her or whatever? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to see that movie. That's out of print too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless they did a Blu-ray, because I only have the DVD of it. This was another one.
Yeah.
This is weird because this says Shout Factory and Scorpion, so I don't understand what this deal is. But Love Letters with Jamie Lee Curtis,
Hmm.
which is this one, the concept is cool, but I feel like it doesn't deliver as hard as it should. It feels very like made for TV movie. Maybe it was. I don't even know, but good concept. She falls in love with like her teacher and stuff like that. So decent concept. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, and then whatever else you have, Cody,
Yeah.
is this new line from MVD. I mean, this is like really, really getting to those erotic softcore movies, right? Like Skin Max, the line's called. It just came out. It's only on DVD, but I mean, you've got things like Sexual Impulse, Sexual Roulette, a lot of Shannon Tweed stuff, Strip Show, Target and Seduction, Different Strokes, Ultimate Taboo, Private Obsession, Midnight Confession.
Oh, that one's open.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Garrett,
yeah.
Garrett dove into that one.
Oh yeah. Indecent Behavior, Illicit Dreams, Lap Dancer, Bare Expose, Bare Exposure, and then Test Tube Teens of the Year 2000, Rebecca's Secret. So this is a brand new line, and I have all of them. Now, will I get to all these at some point? I don't know, but I think the concept is so damn cool that like these could be one of those things that come and go and are never seen again at some point. So I'm like, I need to make sure I have these because they could be lost in time forever.
Yeah, and so, I don't think like movie channels show that kind of stuff anymore.
Oh, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I never owned like a lot of these channels growing up. Like I never had HBO, I never had Cinemax. So I didn't get to see a lot of that stuff. I saw it like maybe if they aired it like late at night on USA or something, but a lot of it was cut or whatever. Yeah. Like, and speaking of that, as a kid, Silk Stockings was like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever got to see that on USA.
I might have.
It was very cool. Very good show.
Do you, so I remember being, a kid in the 90s and watching the softcore porn with my friend. It was called, I don't even know what it was called, but it had Buff Bagwell in it. It was like Day of the Warrior or something.
I have that.
Do you? Okay.
I do. What? It's on Blu-ray, dude.
No.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. I was like, and he's like doing some girl in the pool. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I have that Buff the Stuff. Oh yeah, it's called. It's like he's got like he's almost got like an Indian.
Yeah, it's like Day of the Warrior or something weird like that. But I remember I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched it. But I do have it because again, that's the problem though. A lot of this stuff is like I will buy in bulk on these sales, and all of a sudden that's like I'm trying to play catch up and stuff like that. I'm trying to think what company put that out. I forget, but it's definitely available 100%.
That's funny, man.
Day of the Warrior. It's got Buff he's right on the front. His face is like right on the front cover.
Oh, that's funny, man. I remember getting a kick out of that.
And I mean, anything with wrestlers is hilarious. You want to see a good one is to look up. I don't know what music video is, but there's a music video with Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs, the American Males, are like in the music video, like hooking up with a chick and stuff like that. They're like the main people of the video. Yeah, I don't know the name of the song, but if you look it up, it's amazing to watch.
Who's the band or who's singing it?
Let me see if I can find it really quick.
That's hilarious, man.
American Males music video.
Dude, I see Buff Bagwell's going to be on this season of what the hell is it called? Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
I love that show, man.
So do I.
You know what's funny is I think I can't find it right now, but I think the song is like by a real legit like band.
It's like Def Leppard.
I'm trying to think who it is.
I take it was in the 90s, right?
Oh yeah.
No, it's Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs now.
What is it? What was it?
Buff was a hooker on the Chron. Oh yes, he was on that show, Gigolos.
If anybody in the chat knows, let us know. Which music video? What music video was? I'm telling you, it's one to be seen. I think like they cheat on one of them's wife or something like that.
Man, it's a big storyline.
Oh, aha, dude, aha. You know, like Take on Me, like
yeah,
yeah.
That's funny.
It's called Lie Down in Darkness from Aha. So if anybody wants to check that out,
that's hilarious.
It's pretty crazy to watch. For sure.
Check that out.
Lie Down in Darkness, yeah. Oh, WCW fan forever. He knows. He's gonna know. But yeah, I mean, Cody, is there anything else that you want to talk about when it comes to this genre? Anything we haven't talked about tonight?
Yeah, I have a couple more movies here. I got a movie called To Die For. I don't know if you've ever seen this.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman, right? What company did that?
This is Kino, or no, this is actually just
Paramount. A studio.
Yeah, studio. But I think it's coming out from Criterion is doing it. Someone's doing like a 4K of it, but it's a really good movie where like, you know, she wants to be like a reporter, so she'll do anything to become a reporter. And a young Joaquin Phoenix is in here.
Somebody said a Criterion?
Yeah, I think they're coming out with a Criterion, yeah.
Zombie Daddy Film said that you came in late. Did you talk about the Paperboy? No, but it's right here.
I want to see that movie so bad.
I didn't talk about it yet. I just actually forgot I had it over here until you said something.
Is that an erotic thriller?
It's like it's. Let me see what it says on here. I always looked at it as kind of like a horror movie, but I guess it is more of an erotic thriller. But again, I used to watch this a lot as a kid, so to me it felt like a little bit of a horror movie. But it crosses that line because like what's really horror about it? I mean, I could see it's definitely a thriller, but I think it walks that fine line.
Huh.
Mill Creek, yes.
Mill Creek, okay.
I have a bunch of those Andy Sedaris Blu-rays, yes. They're pretty
funny.
wild.
That's funny. And then I have another movie called Scissors. It's with, of course, Sharon Stone, the queen of the movies that went to theaters. But yeah, that's pretty good. And a movie with Halle Berry called A Rich Man's Wife, which is pretty good. Shooter McGavin in it, and it has Dorian from The Mask. This is from 1996, but it's really good. Yeah, her husband gets murdered and she gets blamed for it. So it's a really good movie.
Yeah, that's where I saw it for the first time. It was on TV. Now, again, in this documentary that we talked about when we first started, that got us to do this. This talk about so many more that just have never seen the light of day, and it's cool because I made a nice little list tonight of things that I don't know if I own. Even ones like the easy ones, like you know what, I don't have Bound. I thought I did. I know Arrow put it out. I think I don't own Bound. And Bound is one that I watched a lot growing up.
Yeah, I've never seen it, and I'm a big Jennifer Tilly fan.
Yeah, it's like they're like lesbians or whatever in it.
Yeah. She talks about it on Chucky quite a bit.
We talked about the Corey Haim one.
You know what another good thriller is with Michael Keaton and Beverly D'Angelo? It's Pacific Heights.
Oh my God, I should have brought that out. I had that in my hand and I forgot it. Pacific Heights is great. Michael Keaton. That does have a Blu-ray as well.
Yep, I have that Blu-ray.
I've never seen Jade. I don't think.
Jade, yeah, never heard of it.
I've heard of it. I can remember the cover was like a girl's body, like her back or something like that. Jason Bear said he just went and checked out the Test Tube Teens.
That looks great. It's the next VSU, guys.
Yeah, I need to get Bound. I've had it in my cart for a long time, That and Jade, actually, I think
Yeah.
I've had I probably have that buried in my cart somewhere for years, but
Yeah.
um,
They
yeah.
had a Bound reunion on season 2 of Chucky. It was like Joe Pants.
Really?
Yeah, it was Joe Pants, Gina Gershon, and Jennifer Tilly. It was like a murder mystery. It was like a murder mystery episode. It was pretty good, but I know a lot of people thought it was a boring episode just because it was like basically just the cast running around the house.
See, dude, I've never seen Chucky the show.
I,
I saw the
I
first episode. That's
yeah,
it.
I don't know if you'd like it. Maybe the third season. The third season really picked it up, but they're at episode 4, and after episode 4 is when when they start like ramping up the crazy. So hopefully they keep it tame when it comes back.
All right, like right now,
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah. So like the first 4 episodes of season 3, I thought were great. They were like I like season 2, but it wasn't. It wasn't the best. But season 3 started off really great. It got to that fourth, that fourth episode, and usually during the Chucky series, after the fourth episode is when you start learning more and more about the story, and the story is always just crazy. So hopefully,
Is it getting off the walls in a sense, or is it's still manageable?
it's still manageable now. So like they got to the 4 episodes, and then they had the strike happen. So now the last 4 episodes are coming out April 10th. So we'll see how that goes. But it's actually pretty cool. There's a scene. It's not really a spoiler. But in season 3, he has to do something. There's a reason he has to do something really bad. So he goes to the Amityville horror house. So it's pretty cool to see that crossover.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty neat. And someone said they might do Chucky in space, which I guess could be pretty easy if someone brings him on the thing.
Yeah, and I did read, or I did look more into that. Diamond CD says if people want Chucky to go to space, he has an idea for Chucky to go to space. Well, I know a lot of people said that people saw that and they're like, oh, Chucky's going to space. Chucky's going to space. So he says he has an idea for it if people want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of hope it's more like Hellraiser 4, where it's like a small part in space and less like Leprechaun 4,
I mean, is it at a point now where it's like it's so out there that it's not taking itself serious, or is it still trying to walk that fine line?
Well, like I said, the beginning of the seasons are more serious tone, and then after the 4th episode, it start
and that's been every season it's been that way.
Yeah, so that's what I'm worried about. The next 4 episodes, but I do like it's like this one takes place in the White House, the 3rd season, and it's not political at all. So I like that, which is
so is every season just its own thing?
No, it's a continuous story. Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Nick? Now, guys, before we head out, for one, I want to thank everybody for hanging with us for almost 2 hours. Again, we had a lot to talk about. We could have talked about so much more out there, but we would just like, let's talk about some of the ones that we like, talk about some memories, talk about this. But make sure you go follow Cody over at Dude Who Loves Movies. You can do that over on YouTube. You can do that on Instagram as well.
I'm on the
always posting stuff.
Yep, I'm on the road to 1K. I have 90 left. I'm less than 100 to get to 1K, guys.
Oh, guys, let's go make sure to go subscribe to the Cody man and get him closer to 1,000 subs. He's only been doing this for about a year, so that would be a huge win for him. And guys, if you're not subbed over here at this channel, Born to Be Rad, sub it up here. Again, we both have new content videos out, so make sure you go check them out. He did an unboxing. And I did stuff talking about some collectibles in my Nightmare on Elm Street series. I did my unboxing last night for my Vinegar Syndrome stuff. So definitely check that out. We both have stuff coming as well. We'll let you guys know when the next Rad Dudes episode is and what the theme is going to be for that night. But I know you guys like these shows. Go to shop.borntobirad.com if you want a Rad Dude shirt. Make sure you post a picture of yourself wearing it to get shared on all of our socials. And Cody, anything else you want to say to these rad folks that are still hanging in here with us tonight?
Yeah, guys, thanks for all of your support on my channel and here watching the Rad Dudes. I know some of the stuff we talk about is niche stuff, so it's not for everybody, but we think it's interesting and people will enjoy it. Especially like when Garrett and I were talking about this, we didn't know if we should do call it erotic thriller or 90s thriller. It was a weird concept. So I guess you're gonna get a different audience for each one, but we talked about both in this, so it was fun. So thanks for hanging out with us on your Friday night.
For sure. And that's the kind of thing, like with the Rad Dudes episodes, is that we want to, if you look at the 4, I think, or 5 that we've done, it's with concepts that nobody's really talking about. And again, it could be, like you said, it's very niche. So people aren't into this kind of stuff. They're probably not going to come watch. We did one on TGIF. We did one on 90s Ninja movies. 90s movies, we did one where we kind of picked apart Sears Wish Book. Like, I mean, that's what's kind of cool, is we're going just off the beaten path of like what you usually see on our channel. So I think that's really cool to just kind of dive in just a different concept that, some people just might really like. And we have different ideas in mind. So just let us know in the comments if there's anything out of, the box that you guys would like to see us talk about. We usually kind of keep things in like the 90s era. Usually it doesn't have to be, but we just kind of find that when we grew up at certain times, it kind of fits what we're really into. But guys, let us know in the comments any thrillers that maybe we didn't mention that we should definitely check out. And also mention in the comments below if there's any concepts of a video that might be a little bit different, talking about, something totally different. It could be anything from, I would say, anything, toys, video games, movies, genres, whatever. Like, let us know in the comments if there's something you're interested in. If we talk about it and be like, hey, that is a good idea, then we'll start working on it. But Cody, anything else you want to add before we head out here on a Friday night?
Nope. That is, I did pull the trigger and I got the Tommy doll head from.
Did you get it from Garrett?
No, I got an email from Tot saying, hey, we got some more in, kind of thing. So I scooped it up right away. They got more of the pizza face. Yeah. So I got it and I haven't opened it yet. So I'm probably going to do probably a short or something for it, but I saw a couple videos for it and it looks like it's the best sculpted one. And for some reason with the pictures, I was like, I don't need that. But seeing someone unboxing it, I was like, that looks really nice, really accurate.
I agree. I mean, I don't have the Chucky doll that head would even go on, but that head is so freaking cool, man. It really is. And it's like, it's weird that it's so cool because it's like Tommy head. It's like this other doll. You know what I mean? Like, like I could say that that's Tommy right there because I mean, it's really just a good guy doll, but it just the way the eyes, it just looks really, really good. They did a fantastic job on that. But did you see my video on the pizza face where I talk about the hand situation?
Yeah, man.
Wild,
dude. That's like when you mentioned that, I was like, I don't remember there being a finger. And then I now that I think about it, I was like, they did. And I would have loved to have that middle finger. I think that
I went back and I pulled the catalog and I posted a picture of it. It was supposed to, and I'm like, what did they, and somebody said that
it was me that told you
because the tooling, is that what was you?
Well, no, I remember telling you that I think what they did is they could either make the head more expensive with the finger or not, because I know that the head cost a little more because there's so much detail put into it. So that's my theory of what happened.
Yeah, I just thought it was so interesting because I remember like with Tommy comes with the hands, this one doesn't. I was like, yeah, I remember that middle finger hand was very intriguing at the time,
I know, that would have been cool.
And I'm surprised though, like that he doesn't have accessibility to bend his fingers or whatever either, to make it.
Yeah, it sucks. I am trying to find the knife that goes to his hand though. I can't find it anywhere. The
magnet one,
Ultimate Chucky magnet hand. So if anybody knows where I can get that, you let me know. I also want the Heart of Nimbala. Can't find that either. I waited.
I might be able to know who you can text about the knife.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for checking this out. This is the Rad Dudes, and like always, stay rad.
Stay yourself. Stay you.
I love it, dude. Later, guys.